Welcome back to Toxic Grind. Last episode, Jason Hayes competed his best in a competition trying to get that gold medal, while unbeknownst to him in the future, a man was looking back in a time machine trying to get talent from the past to compete in the deadly game show that's sweeping the nation, Toxic Grind. And we'll pick up with that after this cutscene.
After an amazing run, earning his first top three finish of his career, give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Jason Hayes! That one. Grab him. And don't botch it this time. Penobscot and the others left enough mess for one day.
Initiating transport sequence.
Ryder, the greatest challenge of your criminal life has begun.
What?
That's right. Freedom can be yours if you survive Toxic Grind. Welcome, viewers. We have an extraordinary show this week, guaranteed to thrill and kill. As you know, the contestants have been rather lacking in recent weeks, but things are about to change. Thanks to the technological wizards here at Blasco, we've managed to reach back through the mists of time to bring you a specimen fresh from the year 2002. Jason Hayes! As you can see, we've spared no expense to bring you, our loyal viewers, the absolute best. So let's kick off the show by bringing out our first defender. Straight from the Arctic tour of carnage, with blood as cold as ice, let's hear it for the assailant known as Crank! The rules are simple, boy. If you outride Crank, you advance to the next round. If not... Hot crowd. This is more like it. Ryder, I hope you're ready, because it's time to ride!
This can't be happening.
Alright, welcome to the future, everyone, and we are immediately thrust into the Toxic Grinder, which is basically going to be a boss battle, which is basically going to be get a certain amount of points. In this case, you start off at 10,000 and you need to get 20,000 before the other guy takes your points down to 0. And there's that thing just in the middle, which I swear it targets you, because I just get hit by it so much. So we've got to compete for our lives in the reality show of the future, Toxic Grind. So Tinker, what do you think about this whole thing?
Well, basically, you've got a bunch of fucked up people who are just sitting here wanting, for all they know, innocent people to just be fucking killed for their entertainment. But when I look at the bleachers around this area, the people are literally so lo-fi I cannot make them out, or they're not there. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation. Second of all, I don't understand why a multi-million-dollar giant television corporation can't manage to find 2 people a week to put into these shows that they become so desperate that they literally have to go back in fucking time to find somebody to participate in this, because that is going to be a consistent solution. So, basically, everything that I've seen is just a shit show.
I don't know. They're bringing their best against me. You saw that guy. He just took me out. I would have won, but he took me the hell out. You know, fuck you, Crank. Fuck you. But honestly, like, this battle is, like, so short. I think, I stomp on his face and I win. So, I'll actually, like, kind of talk about the game and try to make sense of what's going on after another cutscene. But for our performance in that, we got 7 rider points, and actually, I've taken him out faster before, and I got 10 points, which gives you a lot of stats. So,
here we go. Another 20-minute cutscene coming in.
Yeah, coming up once I spend all my stats again. So apparently, there's been some talk in the YouTube comments about the bike stats and what they actually mean. So I can again go into that a little later on. I've recorded like a couple episodes, and so I'm just going to keep my bikes unupgraded until then, mainly because you come to the future and you get a sweet new bike. Check it out. It's got energy wheels. It's got energy inside the wheels. Isn't that awesome?
Again, technology has advanced to the point at which we can contain and manipulate energy within a consistently moving object, but we can't find people to be on a fucking game show.
Impressive. Just goes to show you everyone loves a good villain. And now, time for your vitamin shot.
Whoa. Hey, get that thing away from me. Ow, what the heck was that?
A microid. Think of it as a tiny robot which happens to fill your blood with toxins. The worse you perform, the more it pumps into your veins. Too much poison, and you self-combust. Viewers love it. So do try to put on a good show.
And finally, after all of that, we get to the first main level of Toxic Grind with all of the stuff that is in Toxic Grind, including the, I guess, timer of sorts. So you'll see once we get past all the challenges, there's been the 2 hexagons in the top right, and now the one on the right is slowly filling up. And what that is the toxin in your system. You see we have 4.5 minutes till toxin death, but that doesn't mean we only have 4.5 minutes in a level. See, if you fill up the other hexagon, basically max out your special bar, get your adrenaline up, the toxin will reset to 0. So basically it's like at least every 4.5 minutes you need to get that one square up.
That definitely connected.
And so, the first few levels have really,
What is this, Super Mario 64? He gets hit and he starts flashing?
He gets hit and he has skulls coming out of him, I don't know. So, at least every 4.5 minutes you need to get your adrenaline up, but you'll start having shorter timers in the later levels. Like in the last level, you only have a minute in between each. And that, I guess, does get kind of hectic because, as you may have seen in the previous video, and you're going to see in this video, the game is kind of average, and all the physics and such don't really go together all that well. And I know I joked at the landing stat in the last video. In every game like this, there's always that landing stat that doesn't seem to do anything. But I wonder if that might actually do something, because your guy just crashes if he falls further than like 20 feet. And that's definitely going to kind of be a problem in later levels that get more vertically oriented. And, you're up at the top doing something, and it's like, do a 100-foot wall ride, but every place you find that you can wall ride for 100 feet, you're just going to fall on your ass. But, welcome to the future where everything's ravey and it's got neon colors and such.
Welcome to the future, where apparently it's illegal to kidnap people and murder them on TV.
No, it's perfectly legal.
My bad.
Yeah.
Literally just completely legal. Like, society has devolved to the point of where people literally tune in on Tuesday night to watch somebody die.
Yeah. And you're actually going to see in one of the messages that scroll along the bottom, I like those messages. I just can't really pay attention to them while playing.
Basically, they're advertising this fake TV show. I would have loved to have been at the meeting or whatever where this game was pitched, and just to hear the guy say, yeah, it's a game about riding a bike on a futuristic game show where if you don't ride hard enough, you get murdered.
And who in the comment section, without knowing the actual game's quality, who would have said no to that idea? I mean, come on. Give people a little slack. This isn't the first extreme sports game to have a plot. In fact, I can think of like 3 or 4 others, of which I'll probably all be grouping into a plot block or something. And this seems, This doesn't seem too out there. I mean, there is that one movie, The Running Man. I think people have mentioned it, either in discussion of this game or something else. Where there's been Death Race 2000. There's been movies and such where the premise is a show that America turns in to watch. That is basically a death game show. Well, in this case, it's AmeriCorps because it's all one corporation. Headed by Dixon Von Blass. So it's your basic standard kind of dystopian, futuristic, everything's owned by companies who, just want to make the most money at the cost of human lives. To get and that is basically all the social commentary that we'll be able to pull from Toxic Grind. Unless you want to, I guess, analyze it, but,
Well, excellent.
Or you could just crash right into walls. Just ramps that shoot you right into walls.
Well,
I don't understand.
What are we going to do for the next 4 minutes?
Admire the pretty colors.
Basically, you've been riding around in the same area, just going off stuff. Like, it's just like
going off stuff, going off on stuff. I could talk more about every part of the game. Like, let's talk about adrenaline tricks. All right, adrenaline tricks. Special tricks. You get your adrenaline bar up, you just get beaten up by some ball on a stick. That was it. Literally getting beaten up by a ball on a stick. But, so you fill your adrenaline bar up.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
Yeah.
That was the Simpsons reference. I've never actually seen a full episode of The Simpsons. I just saw that clip somewhere with Bart Simpson. I have no idea what it's about. But I heard that it was a commonly quoted phrase and that people liked it and laughed at it, so I did it.
Oh, check this. I don't know where the game was expecting me to go. It'll try to write you for entering half pipes and such. So, all the things that make the game kind of only half work. Let's start with special tricks. You get your adrenaline bar up, you think you can do cool special tricks. Well, all of those require a bunch of...
The physics with which that ball moved were very far from accurate.
Anyway, all the special tricks require certain combinations of directions on the D-pad, like down right, and then up left, and then up left again, and then X or something. Only problem, the Xbox's D-pad isn't the best, and I swear, this might just be me, but it seems to be a thing. I can get an alright amount of air on a half pipe if I go back and forth and do tricks to get my adrenaline bar up. And then I go to do the special trick, and again, I don't know if it's me, but it always seems to be on that one jump. My guy gets only 10 feet of air, and then I input this whole long thing, and then I just crash. But, actually, this level...
That's it. I get this. If that's what was broadcast on TV, I wouldn't watch it. But then at the same time, I wouldn't watch a child on a bicycle being murdered. What is this? OWN network? We need to realize that this TV show is gonna suck either way. Either the guy's gonna live, which basically entails him going off the same ramp 5 times and just falling and hoping he doesn't faceplant and then flash like Mario, or just watching these long-ass cutscenes where every single freeze frame that they stretch out is some guy looking like he's just on top of the world.
By the way, I love some of the faces in these cutscenes. I'm going to make a ton of avatars out of them. Everyone in my Something Awful thread, you're going to be getting a new avatar. Once I get $10 to burn.
Oh, I thought you were going to say once I get one avatar, because that's all it will take.
No, but basically you can only buy one avatar for $10. But anyway, Toxic Grind, that's what it's going to be. At its heart, it's a game where you roll around levels doing objectives. You got to collect the 5 letters. You usually got to interact with the environment in some way. You got to do a certain trick. You got to get a certain amount of score, and you got to keep getting adrenaline, or else the timer for the level is going to run out. When you say it like that, it's boring, but then when you think you're in the future and you're competing on an evil reality game show, then it sounds kind of badass. So take it for what it is.
Hold on, real quick, before we go. This reminds me of that Jimmy Neutron episode, where they got kidnapped and put on that alien game show. And they had to do stuff to survive, because the alien guy was super powerful. But you know what the main difference was? Was that show was entertaining. This one sucks ass.
All right, join us later on another episode of Toxic Grind.